Contemporary powder room concepts featuring a pedestal sink focus on creating a compact area that appears chic, purposeful, and unexpectedly powerful. A powder room may be among the tiniest spaces in a home, yet it's also one of the most unforgettable, particularly because it sees frequent use by guests. Opting for a pedestal sink immediately creates a lighter, more spacious atmosphere, ideal for contemporary design that values clean lines and minimalism. A pedestal sink can serve as a focal point that establishes the ambience of the whole room, even in the absence of a storage vanity. One of the biggest advantages of a pedestal sink in a powder room is how much visual space it creates. Because there's no bulky cabinet underneath, the floor stays visible, making the room feel larger and less crowded. This is especially helpful in narrow or tight powder rooms where every inch counts. The simplicity of a pedestal sink pairs beautifully with modern design, which often favors minimalism and uncluttered spaces. With the sink taking up less visual weight, other design elements like wall color, lighting, or flooring can really shine. Wall treatments are often where modern powder rooms with pedestal sinks make the biggest impact. Since the sink itself is fairly simple, the walls become the star of the show. Bold wallpaper, textured finishes, or dramatic paint colors can all work beautifully in a small powder room. Deep hues like charcoal, navy, or even black can feel incredibly chic and modern, especially when paired with a crisp white pedestal sink. If bold colors feel intimidating, softer tones like warm grays, muted greens, or beige with subtle texture can create a calm yet polished look. Wallpaper is especially popular in powder rooms because it adds personality without overwhelming the space. Modern patterns like abstract designs, geometric shapes, or subtle metallic accents can elevate the room instantly. Because the powder room is a smaller, more contained space, it's a great place to take design risks you might avoid in larger rooms. A pedestal sink keeps things visually grounded so the wallpaper doesn't feel too busy. Flooring plays a big role in the overall feel of a modern powder room. With a pedestal sink leaving more of the floor visible, the flooring choice becomes more noticeable. Large format tiles create a seamless, modern look with fewer grout lines, making the room feel more spacious. Marble, porcelain, or concrete look tiles work especially well in modern spaces. Pattern tiles can also be a fun way to add interest, particularly when the rest of the room is kept simple. Lighting is another element that can completely change the mood of a powder room. In modern designs, lighting is often both functional and decorative. A sleek wall sconce on either side of the mirror provides even lighting while adding a sculptural element to the space. Pendant lights or a single statement fixture can also work well, especially in powder rooms with higher ceilings. Warm lighting helps soften the clean lines and makes the space feel more inviting rather than clinical. Mirrors are a must in any powder room, and in a modern space, they often double as design features. A round mirror softens the straight lines of a pedestal sink and adds a contemporary touch. Frameless mirrors feel sleek and minimal, while thin metal frames in black, brass, or chrome add subtle contrast. Oversized mirrors can make a small powder room feel larger by reflecting light and opening up the space visually. Storage is often the biggest challenge when using a pedestal sink, but in a powder room, you usually don't need much. A small shelf, recessed niche, or wall-mounted cabinet can provide just enough space for hand soap, towels, and a few essentials. Modern powder rooms often keep storage minimal to maintain that clean, uncluttered look. Decorative trays or small baskets can help organize items without adding bulk. Hardware and fixtures play a major role in defining the modern style of a powder room. Sleek faucet designs with clean lines and minimal detailing work beautifully with pedestal sinks. Matte black, brushed brass, or polished chrome finishes can each create a different vibe, from bold and edgy to warm and elegant. Keeping finishes consistent throughout the room helps create a cohesive, intentional look. The pedestal sink itself can become a focal point depending on the design you choose. Some modern pedestal sinks feature slim profiles and sharp lines, while others have softer curves or sculptural forms. Choosing a sink that complements the overall style of the room helps everything feel connected. A classic white pedestal sink is always a safe choice, but there are also modern options in matte finishes or unique shapes for a more contemporary feel. Artwork and decor can add personality to a modern powder room without overwhelming it. A single piece of art, a sculptural vase, or a small plant can make the space feel finished and welcoming. Plants are especially effective in powder rooms because they add life and contrast to the clean lines and neutral colors often used in modern design. Even faux plants can work well if natural light is limited. The absence of a vanity in a pedestal sink powder room encourages thoughtful design choices. Since you can't rely on a cabinet to hide clutter, every item in the room needs to be intentional. This often results in a cleaner, more refined look that feels distinctly modern. Choosing high-quality soap dispensers, hand towels, and accessories elevates the space and makes everyday use feel a bit more special. Even small details like towel rings, toilet paper holders, and hooks can contribute to the overall modern aesthetic. Simple shapes, clean lines, and matching finishes help maintain a cohesive look. Wall-mounted accessories keep surfaces clear and reinforce that open, airy feeling that pedestal sinks provide. Color contrast is a powerful tool in modern powder rooms with pedestal sinks. The classic combination of a white sink against dark walls creates a striking visual that feels both timeless and contemporary. Lighter walls with darker flooring or fixtures can also create a balanced, modern look. Playing with contrast helps define the space and adds depth without needing a lot of decorative elements. Modern powder rooms are also a great place to experiment with texture. Textured wall finishes, ribbed tiles, or stone surfaces add interest while staying within a neutral color palette. These subtle textures catch the light and make the space feel more dynamic. When paired with the smooth surface of a pedestal sink, the contrast feels intentional and sophisticated. Because powder rooms are typically used by guests, they offer a chance to create a strong first impression. A modern powder room with a pedestal sink feels thoughtful and design-forward, showing attention to detail even in the smallest spaces. It's a room where style can take center stage without the pressure of heavy daily use. Even in very small powder rooms, a pedestal sink can make the space feel less cramped and more comfortable. The open area beneath the sink allows the eye to travel freely, which tricks the mind into perceiving more space. Pairing this with smart lighting and a well-placed mirror can completely transform a tiny room into something that feels airy and elegant. At the end of the day, modern powder room ideas with a pedestal sink are about simplicity done right. It's about choosing fewer elements but choosing them well, when every detail is intentional. From the sink and fixtures to the walls and lighting, even the smallest powder room can feel like a carefully curated design moment. A pedestal sink may be simple, but in a modern powder room, it becomes the perfect foundation for a space that feels stylish, welcoming, and effortlessly chic.